Hi, first grade. This is Miss Darian here. So today we're going to do some work for social studies, and we are in Unit 4, Land of the Free, American Values and Principles. And this is week 8, and we are going to talk about who leads our country. Dear students and families, we hope you are continuing to stay safe and healthy while we engage in distance learning. Over the 2 weeks, you will have the opportunity to learn about the American president so that you can answer the question, who leads our country? The table below outlines the sources and tasks you should complete each day, and the pages in the packet define the materials you will need to complete each task. So we are on day 1 of week 8, and our supporting question is, what is the job of the American president? And this will be on pages 3 through 8 in your packet. So we are going to start with source A, the President and the Constitution. Think about what you know about the word president. Does a face come to mind or a name? In the box below, write or draw what comes to mind when you hear the word president. Take a second and do that now. If you need to pause the video, you can do that. If you need more time, simply pause the video and start it back when you're ready. If not, we're going to keep going. In the United States, we elect a president who serves as a leader for our country. Our country has a constitution, which is a document that lists how our government will work. The president and their powers are discussed in the second article or section of the Constitution. Part of that section says, the executive power shall be vested in a President of the United States of America. He shall hold his office during the term of 4 years. Executive power means that the job of our president is to enforce the laws. Term means the length of time the president will remain in power. Presidents are allowed, based on other parts of our Constitution, to serve only 2 full terms of 4 years each. But they only get a second term if they get re-elected. There are other requirements too. For a person to become president, they must be at least 35 years old and a natural citizen of the United States, which means they have to be born in the United States and have to have lived in the country for at least 14 years. Let's go on to source B. What does the president do? Other parts of the Constitution explain what power the president has. Below is a portion of the text, What Does the President Do? By Kathleen Collins. I'll read this and you follow along in your packet. Power from the Constitution. Once in office, the president has certain powers given by the U.S. Constitution. As head of the executive branch, the president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. This includes the ability to pardon someone. And here you'll see in the picture, this is President George W. Bush. And in this little caption, it says, make the grade. Only Congress can say the United States is officially at war with the group or country, but the president can give commands for the armed forces to follow. So the president can't declare war, but he can command the armed forces once we are in a war. Another major job given to the president by the Constitution is the power to appoint or choose some government positions. The president appoints justices to the Supreme Court, ambassadors, and more. The Senate has to approve or agree to these appointments. So this is Justice Elena Kagan. And in this little caption down here, it says make the grade. It says the president appoints a group called the cabinet to help run the executive branch. They head government offices that take care of parks, collect taxes, and more. The Constitution states that from time to time, the president should tell Congress the state of the union. It's become a yearly speech the president gives to both houses of Congress. He or she often states present thoughts and plans for the future. This is President Gerald Ford. None of you were born when he was president. And in this little caption down here, it says, the three branches of the United States government are meant to check and balance each other. No one branch should be more powerful than another as a result. So there are three branches of the United States government. And that's not when they say branch, they don't mean like a tree. They mean like three groups that help to balance out the United States government. The president has the power to make treaties or agreements with countries and groups around the world. The Senate approves these too. The president is also the face of the United States, representing the country to other world leaders. So I bet you all know who that president is in the picture. You're right, it's President Barack Obama, and that's the Vietnamese president, Tran Dai Quang, that's standing next to him. And in the little caption that says make the grade, it says, the president works to keep up friendships the United States has around the world. Dinners and other events at the White House are often given in honor of world leaders. Now I'm going to read the bottom in this box down here. Excuse me, boys and girls. It's a lot of reading, so I need some water. Okay, let's see. It says, while presidents have a lot of important powers, they do not have all the power. In our country, other powers are given to the two other branches of our government. A Congress that makes the laws and courts that judge if the laws follow the Constitution. All the branches have to work together, though. For example, while Congress writes the law, the president must agree and sign these laws for them to take effect. This is a lot of information. All right, we're coming to the end. So now we're going to complete the thinking web using source A, the president and the Constitution, and source B, what does the president do? So we just looked at a lot of information. So let's see if we can fill in some of these bubbles together. So in the middle, you'll see it says the president. And let's just go up to the top. It says, how long is their term? So the term is how long they are president for. So if you know that answer right away, you could write it right in there. But if you need to go back, we will go back to, let's see if I can go back to, let's see, I think it's on this page. Okay, so they are allowed, presidents are allowed based on other parts of the Constitution to serve only 2 full terms of 4 years each. You see that part? So 1 term is 4 years. And if they get elected again for a second term, they serve another 4 years as president. All right, so now let's go back to our web. So how long is their term? If you said 4 years, you are so right. I bet some of you had that way before I did. 4 years. Sorry about my handwriting, guys. It's hard to write. Okay, 4 years. Let's go to this one over here. How old does the person have to be? I'm sorry, how old does a person have to be to become president? I think that was on the same page we were just on, but I bet some of you already remember. I see it. It's on this page. It's after the part we read about how long a term is. It says there are other requirements too. For a person to become president, they must be at least 35 years old. You see it? So there it is. So let's go back and write that in our web. Sarah's gonna do her best. This is small. So your handwriting is probably way neater. 35. I'm gonna abbreviate years. This is how you abbreviate the word years. And a period. Years old. Okay. Whew, we're doing good. All right, let's go down here. Right, one more interesting fact you learned. Okay, well, this one you can do on your own because this is your opinion. It's something that you found interesting about the president. So it's one thing that you found interesting about the president. Take a second to do that. You can go back in the story and look again, guys. If you need more time, just pause, take your time, and then start playing the video again once you're done. We're gonna go on to here. What kinds of powers do presidents have? Well, I think a lot of that information was in source B. So let's go back to here. Power from the Constitution. Okay, so I think this is going to talk about the powers that the president has. So here it says the president has certain powers given by the U.S. Constitution. As head of the executive branch, the president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. So there is a power. He's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. And he has the ability to pardon someone. That means if somebody commits a crime or does something that breaks a law, he has the ability to pardon them, which means like forgive them, and they don't go to jail for it. They get to keep their freedom. So that's a power right there. You can say he pardons someone, he has the ability to pardon someone, or that he's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. So you decide which one you want to write. I'm going to underline the parts that tell the power. The president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and he has the ability to pardon someone. So those are two choices. If you want to take a moment and write them, you can. If you need more time, just pause it and write it down and then start the video again. We're going to go to the next page and see if we can find any other powers that the president holds. Let's see. Another major job given to the president by the Constitution is the power to appoint or choose some government positions. So there it is. He has the ability to appoint or choose some government officials. That means like choosing who's going to be on the Senate or on the Supreme Court, ambassadors. So he can make decisions about that. So let's see. To the president by Constitution, he has the power to appoint or choose some government positions. So that's another one you could put on your web. I think we need 4. So far we have 3 if you wrote all of them down that we've underlined. If you need more time, just pause and finish writing. If not, we're going to keep going. All right. That one doesn't really tell us the power. Oh, right here. First sentence. The president has the power to make treaties or agreements with countries and groups around the world. Look at that. So we're going to say the power to make treaties or agreements with countries and groups around the world. So that's another power. So that should be 4, guys. I think that's all we needed. Let's go to the web. Oh, you only needed 3. So you could pick any of those to write. So if you're done, then you rock! You guys are awesome. You rock like the sign says. And I love working with you and I miss seeing your faces, but I hope I will see you soon. Thanks for working with me today.